Thank you so much, Carrie. Jim Roberts, Krista Johnson Sotomayor, William Clote, Brenda Ramaya, Dominic Estella, Dave Bates, Tony Holden, and myself, Trish Holden. So we are encouraging anyone who would like to participate and be an organizer, please step up. We have our Durham community will be starting every single Wednesday at American Underground and the American Tobacco Campus. So you won't have to worry about where it's going to be. It's going to be there every single Wednesday, including fifth Wednesday. So you don't have to think about where you're going to be going. Also like to thank our community sponsors. Alexandria Realty has made this great space available. Muddy Dog Coffee, who keeps our caffeination up. Imperative Product Operations, Global Training Solutions, Broadridge Marketing, Soto IP, NC Idea, who pays for our coffee, which is a great thing. Zamati Solutions, American Underground, New York Life, and Uplift Now. We will ask that you have in your prayers, Randy Shaw, he tore his knee playing tennis. He's tore a meniscus, so I think surgery's in his immediate future. When you break for coffee in between our speakers, try to keep our volume down because there's another meeting out there, and sometimes we get a little bit enthusiastic. I'd like to introduce Jim Varner, our first presenter today with the Otto Project. Give him a big hand.
Thank you very much. The Otto Project. We are a small group of programmers and business folks who develop and have been developing enterprise software solutions. We've got a long history of doing that with IBM, Lenovo, Data Center Technologies, Cisco, and most recently Security First Corporation, where we have products that were actually OEM'd by IBM. Earlier this year, we started the Otto Project. Instead of doing it under the guise of a big company, we're doing it more at the startup level. We're trying to focus on how we can help startups get going with the business and software solution expertise that we can bring to the table. Now, usually at this point, somebody asks me, where'd you come up with Otto? Well, it really came from about 10 years ago, a group of us sitting around the table at IBM, creating a software automation program for setting up racks and racks of servers. And one of the gentlemen, Dave Irons, my COO sitting here, said, hey, we're in IBM. Every project needs a name. And it's like, this is an automation project, let's call it Otto. He's a car guy, AUTO. And I totally misinterpreted everything that he said and turned it into Otto OTPO. And for some reason, it is stuck. So that's how we have come across this. I'd like to introduce two other people besides Dave. I have Jeannie Pugh here as one of our program directors, and Mark Stracusa is here with us today as our head of development. So what I want to talk about today is software as a service, software as a product, and technical consulting. And the reason I had that last bullet in there is we've done a little pivot in the last 2 to 3 months. This company we started in May. We started working with a couple of small groups on how to develop their product as a software solution. Doing demos, creating demos. As we got into that, we started looking at what did that company really need. Well, it was a lot more than just product development capability. They needed some business skills. And we have grown our team now to about 12 people that include some of those business skills. Financial skills. What are your run rates? What's your budget? How much do you need? As soon as you get into those discussions, then you start looking at it from an investor standpoint. And we've taken our most recent client all the way through due diligence, working with investors to see what they need from the company before they'll go invest. So now we're bringing in a combination of technical skills and business skills to help startups move things quickly. So as I go through this, I'm going to be very interested in your feedback as to how you feel about that kind of business model. We know what technical challenges are. We know that the digital transformation requires good skills, experienced skills, whether it's finding those skills as resources, looking at scalability, accessibility, cloud migration. All of these things are now coming to play with small companies. You can't develop a small company without some kind of software support, a website. And you need that highly capable solution. Yeah, it's one thing to have an app, but if I'm going to really scale, I need to have a back end in Amazon, AWS, or Microsoft Azure, or IBM Cloud, or Google Cloud. We've got to have more than just an app. So this is where we get into our version of automation. Play on words, I know. Everybody usually groans when I put this chart up. But it really is, what can we do to help you assess your product, vet the idea, look at the marketing capability, due diligence, M&A, or pivot, as we've just done, to something that might be more readily available in the market, more acceptable in the market, to move quickly. On the development side, this is our core. This is what we know best, is how to structure a product, architect a product, deliver a product, and we can take it end to end, or we can do whatever piece you need. In more detail, we've developed our AIM solution: advise, implement, and maintain. From the capability standpoint, we've got options of doing a consultation, developing prototypes and demos, implement and test, and we can even support maintenance. Or we can do any one of these, or one of them. Take your pick. Track record. We've done a lot of things, mostly with IBM. And there's a reason behind that. I'm a 36-year IBMer, so I've been around that company a long time. I know it inside and out. This is in between IBM. This is now my third startup. All of them up till this point have worked with IBM. We aren't working with them quite yet on this one, but it may not be too far off. And 2 weeks ago, I was here in this audience talking about XD, a technology solution company looking at electrical properties as a means of security, discovery, management of infrastructure. We have gone with them almost all of the way through this path up to this point. So we have experience now looking at not only their product, doing a demonstration for that product, but we've now also done the due diligence needed for them to create the infrastructure that they need for VC investment for their company. So we have seen this work and made a lot of progress with it. Contacts. We have, as I said, about 12 people. They're not all here. I personally am down Wilmington Way. I know Jim Roberts. I see him on a regular basis. We've got people, 3 of them right here in the Raleigh area. We've got a handful of folks on the West Coast looking at other alternatives. So, everybody's giving me the 2-minute sign. That in a nutshell is what I wanted to present. And I will solicit your feedback as to whether you think that's a model that would work, that has the ability to enable, accelerate, support startups. We've done a couple of things along those lines. We're not looking at grants, things that we can get a grant for to reduce our cost and allow us to offer our services to young startups at much lower cost capability, so that we can, I hate to use the word accelerate, because I don't want to classify myself quite yet as an accelerator. But that's really what we're trying to do, is to help young startups move more quickly and get their product in the market. Questions?
Thanks, Jim.
Who's first?
I'm going to actually expand on a conversation you and I had previously, because it's just screaming to me. You know, kind of what I'm seeing here is almost like you're a talent agency. You know, if you've got a pipeline of startups that you're eyeing, and they're looking to you for advice, you can start to tell a story, and the story you're going to tell it to is investors. And you know, I could easily see you doing this as a fund, and you using the talent to raise the money, and then, you know, it's kind of like a self-propelling machine, right? And if you could raise it large enough, particularly in this area, you'll blow everybody's doors off. Because, you know, all the rest of the groups around here are very specific and focused about how they do business. But if you were able to create some scale with enough good ideas and entrepreneurs that are up to something, and you're putting this process in place, you can draw big money in here, and that, I think, will take Otto to a whole other level. And that's just kind of what I'm seeing, because you're going to be showing all this talent, and where are returns coming from today? You know, the alternative space is growing significantly, and you know, I think that now is the time to take advantage of that.
And one of your comments earlier when we had our conversation was our ability to de-risk a startup, both for the company and for the investor. And that's something that I'm taking very seriously. You threw that at me, and I was like, man, that's exactly hit the nail on the head as to what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just more curious about your key competitors, and then how do you guys see yourselves as being differentiated from others who are doing similar things?
There's a lot of consultants in the area that do, as he said, some little piece. The differentiator that we bring to the market is the scale, the capability. Having both that business consultancy, marketing, go-to-market, finances, we can provide legal content or contact. We don't provide legal guidance. All the way through developing, help architect a solution. We can help do it. We can guide you through that. Or to say, hey, here's your roadmap. You take it from here. That end-to-end capability, we feel is unique. And with the startups in this area, Triangle area, down in Wilmington, even a couple that we talked to on the West Coast, that is a unique capability that nobody has seen yet.
John, I have a question. It looked like most of startup, if you look at most of startup, I would say maybe not even 85% to fail, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen some of them which have helped them, like all of a sudden project funds are out of funding and all that stuff. And to me, I've seen some of the projects like startups, you read most of them, they ran out of funding, they have to restructure and do other things. To me, I think you guys have to be broad. You have to look at some of the companies which are already existing, who have issues like that you guys can help help and all that stuff. I think you have to be broad. You have to be not mostly on startup. You have to look at some of these companies which are already existing and all that stuff. I think you guys have to look at it. Because most of startup, you don't know what direction you are. By the time you realize it, I've seen them, they just went, what happened? You know, I think you guys have to be broad. Look at some of these existing companies who we need help, you guys have experience with software.
It's a very good point, and one that we've learned somewhat the hard way, is when you get into talking to some of these companies, you've gotta think about tough love. We're not there to tell them what they wanna hear. We're there to help them with the hard choices, the hard facts. If they blown through their money, why? What have they done wrong? If they need to add more money, what's the value going forward? What are they going to change to get them through that next hurdle? And I put up earlier, PaxV, we went through it with them. They have a great technology. And we were able to demonstrate the first part of that product capability. The second part of that product is not quite there. And we've given them advice on what they need to work on for the next step. And we'll work with them as we need to as consultants, capability development as we need. But it was a tough discussion. So that tough love aspect is very real. So I might as well take it.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Thanks. Hey, Jim. I want to pick up a little bit on Carol's comment. Notwithstanding the fact that 85% of startups fail, I think probably 99% of startups are rich in everything except cash. So my question is, have you considered taking equity with an 85% chance that you'll get nothing, and a 15% chance that you'll hit the jackpot?
Absolutely. High on our list. And right now we've got 3 or 4 different models. One is to look at a grant that we can use to apply to the startup. One is for us to invest in that startup directly. We need a little capital on our side to do that, but that's an option. As well as working with a venture capitalist to say, hey, please go evaluate this company on my behalf. Because VC firms may not have the technical expertise to really vet a startup before they invest. So we're looking at all of those models.
Other questions? Good deal. Well, Jim, thanks very much.
Super. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.